Okay, g'day, Rudy here. So, end of the week. I thought I'd make this a regular occasion now, seeing as though I've gone out on a limb, called it the king of ETFs, which I believe it is on the ASX listed ETF. And why? And if you've seen this before, sorry, but if you haven't, this is why. This is the commodity cycle since the 1800s. And we're about here, so we haven't even started. This is a more relevant, because you can't get data going back to the 1800s on the internet. But this here is basically this here. So, and you know I love rounded bottoms and I love cup and handles. So that's why I've called this one the King MVR. We'll go through the top stocks that make it up. Basically, the order we go in will be their weighting, but the highest weighting is like 8% to Woodside. And this is the chart. We're on monthly candles here. So how do you go for the? Now just as a matter of technically speaking, the target price for this is you add from here to here and add it to there. So we're just starting. But the King had a bit of a soft week. But the most important thing was he stayed above resistance. So he's done his job this week as far as I'm concerned. So we'll go through all the stocks and the commodities. Even pick up, it's got some lithium in there. Okay, so oil price. So the oil price finished so this is the long-term oil price. So we're in a declining channel here. But it looks like we're making a bit of a bottom, still a bit of work to go. So that's what you see with all these commodities. We're at the bottom. So when these companies, you'll see the share prices, they're not acting like they're at the bottom. So this is natural gas forming a nice declining wedge at the bottom, because you don't want to be buying resource stocks when commodity prices up here. Now's the time to start putting them in your bag. So Woodside. So look, the oil price is down here in Woodside. I'll put out the buy this week again. So it doesn't. A lot of people are wanting it to come down, but it's not. So that's not the biggest holding there. Okay, this is the copper price. So it had a bit of a tariff tantrum, but technically got a bullish breakout there. It's at its bottom. Aluminium. So like a lot of commodities, they're just channeling at the bottom. Iron ore, which is important one for us because all our big boys are overweight in iron ore, but we've broken this downtrend since December 23, so that was a big effort. We'll just go to a daily chart because we're close. So you see we broke down tests, we've gone up and finding support. So iron ore is now starting their long trip up, and coal. So coal's broken the declining wedge. It's got some resistance here to get through from back here. So again, we're buying at the bottom, not the top. So coal's just trying to find the bottom there. Okay, so BHP. So BHP's broken through the iron dome. It's got a bit of a bull flag here. So it's working itself up. Once it breaks through here, then that's off. In case you don't know, BHP is sort of a third copper, half iron ore, a quarter coal. That's what they're into. Okay, so then we've got Fortescue, so they're all into iron ore. So you can see Fortescue's back above the trend line, poking its head above this sort of rectangular resistance. Had a breather this week. So once that iron ore price confirms its uptrend, these iron ore miners will start going. Rio, just a flat week. So Rio's 60 iron ore, 20 aluminium and 10% copper. Okay, so that's alright. Nothing scary there. Santos, so they're oil and gas. They're under a takeover offer. Still don't know if it'll go through. I don't think it should. Well, I wouldn't, because we need it. We need the gas. Origin, so that's up and away. Orica, so they're in this sort of explosive business. So they're taking out all-time highs. So it's like Orica is not a miner. So its commodities aren't. There's no price commodity really. The king of metals, from my point of view, gold. So that's just squeezy. So we've got some exposure there through Northern Star. It's the king of gold miners. It's our biggest one. So we've got a bit of that. I'd rather it had a bit more weighting, but with ETFs you don't get choices. But this is still good enough. Sol Pats. They're not really a miner, but they own like half of New Hope Corporation, which is our most cost-efficient coal miner. So yeah, we'll take it. So now we've got the zinc price. So that's going into a little wedgie here. So a bit more time. Again, we're not buying when it's up here. Lead. So again, leads, so still tracking sideways, got a bit of support resistance here. So that flows through to South 32 because that's basically what they mine. So you can see it's a similar price chart. So again, we're not buying when it's up here. We've got Evolution. So Evolution's a gold and copper miner. So 25% copper. So it's nice. It's got itself back above this sort of resistance area. Get back above the trend line. It's nice to have that one in there. Whitehaven Coal. So it's another coal miner. Nice long-term bull flag. And then we've got some of the ones, the more exciting ones that I know people like. So we got the rare earth Linus in there, with one of the most beautiful cup and handle patterns there. It's got a long way to go to get back up here. It's good that it's in the ETF. We got Worley. So they're like a engineering mining firm, copper, oil and gas projects. So they're just trading sideways nicely. We've got Ampol. Ampol's doing a bit of action at the moment. So broken through this sort of support resistance, so that's looking nice. A bit of lithium, something that pretty keen on in this channel. So Pilbara. So Pilbara stayed above this support line for the week, so that's good. Consolidating at the highs is one of the sayings, so that's fine. And then lastly, we've got a gold miner, Perseus. So declining channel there. So it should get above and go. Alright, so that's the guts of the stocks that sit underneath the king. So I reckon that's a pretty good mix. And I'd have it as a core holding, and I'd add other specialised ETFs or stocks depending on whether you want growth or dividends, or because again, this thing, all these big miners are paying, Woodside 7 or 8, Rio 7%, so there's some decent divs from this ETF as well. Alright, let me know your thoughts on the king. Alright, have a good weekend, and I'll be benchmarking them. So if you've got any other ETFs stocks you want to compare against the king, let us know, especially on a tough week. He might be easy to beat. Anyway, see ya.